vibes. We are live. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to kind of have you guys here with me today at our monthly reset and goal setting workshop. So I wanted to kind of hop on today and be able to kind of go through some, um, basically basically just some tips and strategies on what you could do to kind of uh, set your month up the right way and just kind of ease into this month of December with just some excitement and some motivation. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to maybe flick on some of the extra lights so you can kind of see me. Great. So welcome to your monthly reset and goal setting workshop. So this place is it's a space for a calm, clarity, gentle reflection, and intentional growth. So it's a quick introduction. So I am Heather. I guide teachers in creating routines that support productivity, emotional well-being, and also meaningful growth. This workshop matters because it gives you an opportunity. You deserve support structure and a soft space to land. Now, the flow of our monthly workshop is going to be where you'll be we're having the welcome now, which is great, and your introduction, so you can see who I am and what you'll learn from the experience. Then we're going to work a little bit on a reset, goal setting, and also how I can support you, how you can support yourself through the experience of the workshop. So here's what we'll do together. And as a mindset, as a monthly goal setting workshop, it's a little bit different. So first, I want you to grab your favorite beverage. My beverage, I'm just drinking right now, a Snapple tea. And I do have my planner with me. Let me go ahead and grab my planner. It's not a live stream without someone making a mistake, right, guys? Okay, so I am back. So here is my trusty planner, and I'm gonna go ahead. There are two things that I use for my planning. I think I'm just gonna pull them out of the folio. Give me a quick second because I do want you to see what we'll be doing for that. So hold on a second. So first off is my Moxie Life Just Begin Again and Again. This is my goal setting and my companion book that I use from Moxie Life. Now, you don't have to use or invest in something like this. You could simply just use a lot of the questions and resources I'm giving you today. But in a nutshell, this is kind of what I use to kind of do a little bit of reflection. And then secondly, I'm going to actually show you my physical planner. This was my planner for the month of December. And my planner for the month of December was this one. And this specific planner, and I'll walk you through some pages. This way you can kind of see what it looks like. So basically it's just generally like a weekly planner, if you could see it. So it's kind of just going through, these are the days of the week, and this is just a weekly overview. This planner is from this monthly planner is from Coco Daisy. As you can see, this is the last one that I'm filling out. This is the week of Thanksgiving. And there's an extra week, of course, but I don't need it. And then it gives you one page of planning for each day. The method that I use is I use the goal setting to kind of think about what I want to like accomplish and do for the week. But then I also write it out. And I just use kind of like little quick reminders to help me kind of map out what I'd like to do. If you're not new to my channel, you know that I love to do decorative and creative uh, planning, and I like to mix that into my planner only because I just feel like it's very important to kind of make planning a part of who you are. So this is just kind of, just how things look. But what I wanted to go ahead and do for this session was to kind of go through, just give you kind of some strategies, just some questions to help guide you as you're planning. So let's go ahead and begin. So I want you to kind of just we're going to take 3 deep breaths today. And I want us to really think about settling ourselves in, grounding ourselves. I want you to place your feet, literally place your feet on the ground. And we're going to inhale peace and exhale the day. Exhale all the things you did today. Exhale the interactions, exhale the traffic, because, exhale the interactions at work. So let's go ahead and just breathe in peace, calm, settle your spirit. And I want you to exhale any negative thoughts, any feelings that just came from the day. And I want you to take this specific time and make it your own, make it for yourself, because you have earned it. Let your shoulders drop. One more breath. Inhale, peace, calm. This time just for you. And go ahead and exhale. Relax your shoulders, keep your feet grounded, and settle your mind, because this is the opportunity and time to focus on you. Great. So here's something that I want you to think about, and I want you to take some time to reflect on the previous month. Let's reflect on October. Okay? Now, I'm just testing the chat myself. Thank you. Great. So now I want you to think about when you and your reflections for the previous month, right? Here are 3 questions just to guide you. Now, what you can do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my journal, my actually planner, and it's kind of like a planner half journal. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn to today's day. And today is the 26th. And I'm going to go ahead and think of and choose one of these questions to answer. So I'm going to read aloud the questions. And the first question says, what moments felt aligned with you and who you want to be? Question number 2, what made you feel out of sync? What kind of made you kind of shake, like your system a little bit, your feelings, your moods, and your emotions? And the third question, where did you show up strength and your most energy? Where did you show that? Where did that come up for you? Okay, and I want you to think honestly about this, because you're the only person who's going to be reading this and answering these questions. And I want you to think about, if you want to even add these 2 bonus questions, what did you learn about your habits, patterns, and energy this month? And also, what needs to be kind of released? What is something you kind of want to leave behind? And what do you want to take forward? So I'm just going to kind of pick 2 questions, give myself about 20 seconds, and go ahead. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and open up a timer in a window just to kind of keep us on track for today. And we are not going to do a 5-minute. We're just going to do maybe it's a 1-minute. Okay. That's, I think, 1 minute.
Are those dancers that go on and lose the breaks?
Let me make sure I set the timer for us. And that is going to read, nope, 1 minute. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and set the timer. And I'm going to go ahead and pick one of these questions. And all right. I'm going to just pause the timer because I don't want it to ring. So the questions that I kind of focused on were my aligned moments. And I would say that I spent time with my daily intentions. I enjoyed journaling. Journaling felt really aligned for me this week. And rest. So I made sure that there were some times during the week that I actually felt like I needed to just stop what I was doing and just take the time to rest. And I think that's something that you have to give yourself. We have to honor ourselves and where we are. We have to honor, like, if your body is asking you for you to rest, your body's asking you to rest. And you need to honor that. If there's a time where kind of you're feeling like there's certain things that you're doing and that you don't feel like it's kind of you, and that remove it because you may not need it. So something that I feel like additionally that I've been doing where I feel aligned is on my business Facebook page, which is, I believe it's Heather W. Coaching and Education. And on my business Facebook page, I actually have been enjoying posting on Facebook and, kind of just posting lessons I've been learning throughout the week. So I feel like that was aligned, right? So I'm going to go ahead. So again, you can kind of review these questions in I'm going to post the live stream so you can go ahead and review these questions anytime you need to. But I'm going to go ahead and move to the next slide. And now we're going to think about monthly reflections. And I want you to honor your wins. I have about 4 questions here. You do not need to choose all of them, but I'll read them out loud. And it says, which moments or experiences made me feel proud? Where did I show up for myself even when it was hard? What am I celebrating that I might have overlooked? Who did I become in the process? So just make sure boy takes a bath. Okay. Mom life, guys. So if you know, you know. But also, like, some of us have fur babies, and it's the same thing. It's the same situation. So I got you. Now, when I'm thinking of I want to talk about where I showed up for myself, even when it was hard. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I feel like today I showed up for this workshop. I live in the state of New Jersey, and when it rains and when it's the holidays, New Jersey doesn't know how to behave in traffic. And sometimes it takes me 1 hour to get home. That's when I'm lucky. Sometimes it's a good 2-hour drive to get home, literally. Plus, I drive my children to different places. So I feel like when those days come, it's very difficult for me to kind of I just kind of want to put that effort in and I really kind of just want to like relax. But I made a commitment to attend this session and to kind of even show up for myself. So I'm not only, giving you these types of questions and reflection points for you and for this channel. I'm actually also participating in it as well. So I feel like today was a really difficult time. And today was a day that I felt like I showed up. And I'm actually glad I'm doing this because there was something that I was kind of doing that I really didn't like. So, and I feel like I have to shift that. And even just answering some of these reflection questions helped me think about that today. So now let's move on. And I want to talk about the next stage of our little training here is, who am I becoming? Who were you showing up as this month? That person who you showed up as, are they aligned? Do you feel like you were showing up as your authentic self? Did you feel grounded and intentional in your presentation, in your conversations, in your actions? And what characteristics or values do you want to embody for the month of December? So remember, the identity and who you are inside, your values and your intentions, they drive your behavior, right? So I'm going to choose about who I was showing up this month. And I'm going to use my little square right here. It's a little box sticker that I added into my little journal here. And I'm just going to go ahead and write. And you can go ahead and, take a piece of paper, take a little, any type of little journal or something you like to write about, and go ahead and answer this question. Again, I'm going to give you about 1 minute. Okay, time's up. So I'm not going to share this response, but again, you get a chance to kind of review this. I'm going to post this online so we can kind of do our reflections together every month. Now, here's what I want you to do. Set your intention for the month, right? Think about the month of December. We know that this is the month and the season of holidays, of joy, of family, of sometimes gift giving or shopping. And it can get really busy, right? We know that the time can kind of just pass by. If you are a teacher, I'm a teacher. We have 3 weeks of work or teaching or school in December. And then our school, I'm fortunate enough that we have the last 2 weeks of December as a vacation. But it's going to be 3 weeks of hustle and bustle at school, at work, really working with the students on building their reading comprehension skills. And I'm talking about in the K-12 area. And, on top of that, I'm also going to be working on my daily Vlogmas with my YouTube channel. I'm doing a wonderful, wonderful series called Creative Peace. And I'm really excited to share that. And again, I want to know, how am I going to how do I want to show up? What's going to be my theme for the month? Is it going to be a single word, a phrase to guide me forward? My energy, right? What do I want those days to look like? Because, I just mentioned that I'm going to be quite busy for the entire month of December. Now I want to ask myself the question, do I want to show up frantic all the time and just hustle and bustle and, kind of like just moving without pause? Or do I want to start my days with calm, with discipline, with creative ease? So you have to think about that. Think about the energy that you're going to put into your day and that it's going to help you have. And then, of course, what do you want to feel at the end of the month? How do I want to feel at the end of the month of December? You have worked so hard this entire year. How do you want it to end? How do you want to go? Do you want to go out with a bang? Do you want to go out with kind of some peace and resignation? So that's something, I want you to think about. So I'm actually going to move forward with the slide because I don't want, again, this is kind of like a little mini workshop, and I just kind of wanted it to be some tips and strategies you could take with you. All right. So let's talk about alignment. And this picture represents exactly that whole concept of the road of alignment. And as you start to kind of shift into goal setting for most likely the year of 2026, because that's kind of the mood that we're all kind of starting to pause and reflect about. What long-term vision are you quietly building towards? Where do your goals and purpose support each other? Are they connected? Are they aligned? Are your goals and your purpose completely opposite, going the opposite direction, and they're not connected? What matters to you most in this season? My particular season of life. This season of life that I'm in is the season for me, and my spirit and my being is momentum. That's the only way I can describe it. Momentum and the alignment. Now, I began the year with like my vision of inspiration. I wanted everything I did to be inspiring to myself, inspiring to others. I'm just going to fix myself. And I found that there was something more that was missing. And it wasn't necessarily momentum, because we know that our momentum kind of shifts. It ebbs and flows. Sometimes we have like really great momentum, and sometimes the body and the brain needs to take a step back. But I'm talking about alignment. And this road that we're on, if you look at this image of this picture, and it's like the road that you're on, right? And you can see that the road in front of you could be clear. Is it directly in front of you? Is it clear? Can you see it? Is it cloudy? Is it clear for you to kind of find where you're going and the direction that you're going? So I want you to like really think about that. Think about the journey that you're on in your life, and is it in alignment and in connection with who you are? So now, this is the fun part. Now that you've had a chance to kind of think about alignment, I want you get to choose 3 big goals for the month of December. 3 big goals for the month of December. So, and I actually have the last time. I'm actually going to give you 1 minute. I'm going to actually reset my clock, because I want us to kind of do this together. So 3 big goals. And these are the 3 ways that I thought that would be good for us to kind of break it down. So the first one is an essential goal, the goal that will truly move you forward throughout the month of December. And number 2, the next goal, your personal well-being. What self-care goal supports your energy and your peace? And number 3, a professional goal. What builds your confidence and expands your impact? Choose clarity, not quantity, because this is not all about having 10 goals to accomplish by the end of the month of December. This is more like something that 3 things that you feel like you really want to work towards this year. So the month of December to finish the year. So I'm going to put my timer, and I'm going to go ahead and give us 1 minute to answer these 3 questions. All right. Time is up. And again, you can go ahead and hit replay and watch this stream 1 more time, just to get an idea of like what goals you want to do. So I actually only got to the second one, but that's okay, because I can always go back. So I'm going to tell you my first essential goal, and my first essential goal is my daily YouTube series. And I just feel like that goal is going to kind of really just bring so much insight, so much fun, so much enjoyment and celebration to wrap up the year. And I want to share that with everybody. So again, that series is actually called, if I'm just going to pull it up for you really quick. It's in one of my project. I know, just give me a minute because I want to show you it because I'm so excited actually to be doing it. And I think it's just gonna make things so much fun for anyone who's participating. And here it is. It's called, oh, that's not it. Hold on 1 second. I think it's, here we go. I always forget where it is. It is actually called Creative Peace Spark and Soul YouTube series. So it's called I'm calling it the Creative Peace Spark and Soul YouTube series. And I'm just so excited. I'm really so thrilled and so excited to be able to kind of have that series. There's so many fun things planned, fun activities, fun events planned, fun videos. Some of them will be pre-recorded. They'll be in the form of planmas, daily planmas, but it will be 25 days. So I'm so excited. And I feel like that's going to be my essential goal. Personal well-being. Oh, I'm definitely going to share this with you guys because it's part of my, it actually connects a little bit to my Plan a Perfect video that I posted and Bible study journaling. And I have really, really like felt like I needed to like make a deeper connection with God. I am Catholic and I just feel like I feel like I just want like, again, if you want to know about the why, please go ahead, and I believe there's a Plan a Perfect video, Plan a Perfect unboxing about my Bible study journal that I purchased. And I'm really just, I mean, I don't think it's going to be like oh my God, it's going to be the only thing that's going to change my life, but I do think that it's going to support me in my growth. And of course, my professional growth. Well, I think my professional growth for me, personally, what I feel helps me grow is reading and connecting. I feel like in terms of professional growth, like, right, if you are an entrepreneur, if you have a TPT store, if you have an online community, one of the things I think that we really do, like, as someone who owns a business, someone who runs a business, someone who just kind of is a person, a naturally inclined person, and they're kind of a creative spirit. Is hustle the only direction that we can go, especially for the month of December? And I think I want to choose growth instead. I want to choose connecting with others, connecting with other teachers online, making deeper connections with the staff that I work with, the teachers that I'm coaching and mentoring, because I am a coach. I am a full-time coach and mentor for teachers in a public school, and I want to be the best mentor and support for these teachers and their growth. So, and I also want to inspire those who are viewing my videos on my channel, because if I'm not inspiring others, then what I'm doing doesn't matter. So now let's go ahead. And if you want to go ahead, and if you're watching the replay of this training or of this video of this workshop, please share your 3 big goals in the comments. I would love to know what your goals are and what you're working towards. So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do, I just skip around because I want to kind of almost wrap this up. It has been 30 minutes. I think that's more than enough for you to get some really solid time into, getting the juices flowing so you can start answering some of these questions during the replay. Make your goals doable. That's the one thing. So I can't it would really, if my professional goal, one of my professional goals is to read, I can't sit here and tell you, well, it's December and I'm going to read 3 full books about professional growth. No, you want to make your goals doable. You want to make your goals smart goals, right? So you want to think, why does your goal matter? What are 3 small things you can do to kind of accomplish that goal? What obstacles might appear? And what's your plan if those obstacles come? So, for example, I'm going to choose reading. I actually want to read a fun book this month. I'm reading Know Your Worth by Angie Bellemare, and she's the owner and creator of the Daily Grind Planner. And I also want to read just a fun kind of happy, romantic kind of book. So, the Know Your Worth book is technically a training, but in terms of fun, I want to read every night. But again, right? I feel like a step that I could take to accomplish that is maybe when I'm settling down for bed and I'm wrapping up my day, my evening, maybe I could open my book, keep it by my bedside, open my book and read a few chapters a week. That's doable, right? That's doable because I'm kind of what I'm doing there is I'm setting up, first of all, I'm thinking ahead, putting the book next to my desk, and I'm also kind of situating myself so that it's like I'm building a habit or a routine where I would actually open the book and actually read it and enjoy myself. So, and then I'd go to bed. So when we want to accomplish goals, one thing you have to do is think a little bit ahead, and that's okay. But you want to think about, first of all, they have to be doable, they have to be or attainable. And, think about, what challenges might appear that will kind of limit you from accomplishing those goals, and then what could you do, what could you shift in your daily routine, your morning routine, noon, midday routine, or evening routine that would help you support that. Okay. And I want you to think about your weekly rhythm, because that's so important, because again, this is not about checking a list of 10 things that you want to do in one day and accomplish them, because that is not what alignment and goal setting is about. It really isn't. Because here's the news. Here's the good news, right? I said I wanted to read a fun book. I'm thinking of reading the a book by Nicholas Sparks, or I believe it's the book The Shack, because we know it's a movie. I've never seen the movie, but I'm curious about the book, and my daughter had to read The Shack for her school. I want to read it too. So let's say that I don't get to finish Mom Life, by the way. So let's say I don't get to finish The Shack, right? It's very possible that I'm not going to finish The Shack, but what I want to do instead is maybe shift it to finish reading it in January. There's nothing wrong with shifting your goals and being flexible. So here's a recommended weekly rhythm, and this is something that I do on a weekly basis. Monday is usually my start date. So if you look at this planner that I have, I'm going to open up the weekly page for you. And let me open up a page that I actually did. Here we go. So if you can see, Monday, it's always the start date. So for me, my energy begins on that Monday. Monday is the day where I always kind of just settle in and think of things like, it's almost like my planning, my reflections are usually a weekend cycle. Like the cycle that I work on is like my reflections are on a weekend basis, Saturday or Sunday. But really my Monday is my fresh start. It's like a fresh start energy for me, a fresh start of the week, right? So that's where I kind of start mapping out certain activities, certain events, certain projects that have to get done, or just certain fun things I want to do to celebrate myself and have fun. Wednesday is always a midweek check-in. So Wednesday's hump day, right? It's like the middle of the week. If you're a teacher, it's the middle of the week, and like we have Thursday and Friday, and then the weekend is coming. So with the Wednesday midweek check-in, that's where you want to you could ask yourself some questions like this. And I have some weekly flow questions for you. What needs to happen weekly to support your goals? What does a balanced week look like for you? And Where can you build in moments of ease? So let's say Wednesday comes and you feel like you kind of haven't been able to hit any of those like goals, or and maybe some time just for yourself, time to read, right? Time to wash your hair, ladies and gents. Sometimes we can be so busy that we forget this part, the physical maintenance, right? So maybe Wednesday suddenly it hits you and you're like, oh my gosh, I still have to do this and that, or I didn't even do this for myself, right? So you want to think about, even when these kind of days come, what can you do for yourself? So Wednesday is a reset. Simple as that. Wednesday is a reset. Pick two things. If you feel like between Monday and Wednesday you didn't hit too many of those goals that you had wanted to pick, Wednesday comes, that's your reflection time, that's your reset day, and boom, pick one thing that you know you can get done by Friday. Friday to Saturday, I say, is like the weekly reflection, and Sunday, it's recommended as a plan ahead with peace. Typically, if you're a teacher, usually that's like lesson planning night for us. I don't necessarily lesson plan, but I do more project time, but I set aside very specific increments of time so that my whole day is not consumed, because for me, Sunday is a Sabbath. I like to go to church. I like to spend time in prayer with God. I like to be with my family. And I just feel like Sundays, I owe it to myself to have really one wonderful rest day. So whether you want to choose a Saturday as a full rest day or Sunday as a full rest day, you can do either one, right? But you could also kind of think about, use Saturday or Sunday or one day in the weekend to kind of think about, do a weekly reflection like we're doing. Well, we're doing more of a monthly reflection, but a weekly reflection works just the same. And most likely I'll be doing a weekly reflection video for you in my Moxie Life companion notebook and goal setting notebook. So, and remember, we're just thinking about your rhythm, and rhythms change, rhythms speed up, and it goes back and it calms down. And you have to pay attention to that flow. All right. And I want you to honor your energy, right? Sometimes we need more rest, focus, movement, or peace, or just connection. We need that time to kind of connect with others. Let's think about protective boundaries, right? Where can you create space to protect your energy? Sometimes next month is December, guys. We know that December comes with lots of celebration and lots of busyness, right? Protect your boundaries in that month, right? Think about, what could you do for yourself to give you some peace? Do you need to say no? Do you need to say no to anything? Right? Is there something that maybe you shouldn't be doing? Is there something that maybe you need to kind of take a step back and say, you know what? Maybe I can do this next time. What drains your energy? What do you want to leave behind for November? There might be something you are working on, something that's not working out. Put it away. Maybe December's not the time to visit it. And of course, what practices restore you quickly? What do you enjoy doing? And choose some moments of celebration for yourself. You deserve it, and it is the season of celebration for all of us. Now, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to skip this part because it's more about journaling, and I want you to think about just lighter times. Let's just think about asking ourselves some questions about reflecting about the month of November, and then what we want to do moving forward for December. And think about group reflections. Pick a person that you are excited to share this journey with, right? What are you looking forward to in the month of December? Is there a word or phrase that will kind of like you'll hold on to and anchor to? What clarity can you take away with this training or with this kind of examination of our goals, right? Our monthly goals and reflections. And if you have any phrase or word that will anchor you, I want you to share it in the comments. Tell me something you're looking forward to for the month of December, or if you're even catching this replay, on another random month, what are you looking forward to? Be excited about that, because these ideas and these hopes that you have, they don't come from anywhere. They're deep within you, and they're embedded in your being. And they're, we sometimes just need help to like really envision that and bring it to life. And that's what we're gonna do. I'm believing that. So thank you so much for showing up today. Thank you so much for taking the time to just work through some of these prompts with me about your monthly goals and reflections. I hope you have a wonderful December. Um, you did something powerful today. You showed up. You made the time to be consistent, and you chose consistency over perfection, right? And that's something I feel like we're always like, it's always the ego is trying to like be this perfect person and do all these things, but then it's like, you know, it kind of like it takes over. And that's the ego. Of course, when you're led by the ego, those kind of things shift, and it just kind of affects and impacts you overall. Your growth is always happening in real time. We're always changing, we're always growing, right? Our interests, our goals, our reflections, our lives, they ebb and flow. And I want you to think of your monthly goals and reflections as that. It's an ebb and flow of, sometimes you have to add things, add a few goals in. Sometimes you have to take things away and, put them away for another moment, put them away for another day to review. So, um, disclaimer here, by the way, if you are looking for an opportunity to kind of dive deeper into goal setting and habit building, and just kind of a space for teachers, for women, for anyone who wants to kind of just dive into exploring who you are with alignment and intentions, and of course, I'm going to be having that wonderful, wonderful series in December that's titled "Creative Peace, Spark, and Soul," and it's going to be mainly just YouTube videos and YouTube training. So I'm very excited about that. But if you are going to be want to be involved in that, just kind of hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. Please subscribe to my channel. It helps the channel grow. It helps the channel reach other individuals who I know need the support. I work with at least 50 different teachers in my district, and I live in New Jersey. I won't tell you what district I work at, and I know that teachers need this type of support, and I want to offer that for other people. So again, if you just hit the like button, it helps the channel. It helps kind of connect the channel to maybe go into an algorithm where other teachers who are looking for this support will be reached. So I want you to have a wonderful evening. It is Thanksgiving tomorrow. I want you to have a wonderful holiday weekend. You deserve it. You've earned it. And I want you to know that you deserve to celebrate yourself. You deserve more than so many things in this world. And don't let the world tell you that you don't deserve that, because you are worth so much and you are special. Okay? So have a good night, guys. I love you so much. Bye. And stream.